It's been hugely moving to be with families who've campaigned for 36 years for justice, not just for their loved ones, but for anybody else in the years ahead facing the injustice or the indignity of losing a loved one and trying to hold the state to account. And so it's one of the great honours of my life, really, to be Deputy Prime Minister and Secretary of State for Justice at this time, and to be finally introducing Hillsborough Law to ensure that our public officials have a duty of candour, to ensure that there are new criminal offences for misleading the public, and to finally ensure that there is parity of arms, that anyone facing an inquest where the state is in the dock, as it were, can have legal aid and support to fight for their loved one and for justice.
And as you say, it has been an enormously long fight, a scandalously long fight to get the Hillsborough Law brought in, but it was crucial to the families that it wasn't watered down, that it did include this legal duty of candour.
This has taken many, many years since I signed as a backbencher the 2017 bill for Hillsborough Law. And yes, of course, it's been hard fought, but we have got to a position where, standing alongside families today, they are happy, they are content for this bill to be introduced, to pass through the House of Commons and the House of Lords, to be debated, and that ultimately, not just on behalf of their loved ones, but on behalf of working people right across the country, and I'm thinking of Grenfell, of Windrush, of Horizon, Infected Blood, and many people still facing up to what they believe the state has done to them, that those people can be properly supported, that public officials are held to account, that they cannot mislead the public, they have to be frank, open and honest and not defensive, and that those families are properly legally supported.
And also, crucially too, this is quite a big expansion of legal aid.
This is the biggest expansion of legal aid in a decade, and it's the right thing to do. Never again can ordinary people be looking at an army of lawyers on behalf of a government department or an agency of the state, and they're scrabbling around, trying very hard to fund themselves in their quest for answers and for justice.
Oh, hello. Cracked in there.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry, I've seen you a few minutes ago.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for campaigning for this for years, after all you've been through. Really, really unimaginable. The grief that started all of this, the injustice that was piled on top, and your resilience, courage, determination to get truth and justice. It's humbling. It's really humbling. And I know that today we are really pleased to introduce this law, but it has been a battle.
Yeah.
It's been a battle from the very start. At every twist and turn, you've been pushed back. Even as we were battling through here to get it through, it was pushback. And Margaret and I had a frank discussion just a few months ago when
More
I
than
came
frank now.
to see you. But with your support, and I want to really emphasise this, with your support, we've got to this day, and it's a really important day for the 97, for you, for families, for communities, for the other groups that have suffered injustice, and there's plenty of those with the same pattern, which is an injustice to start with, then on top of that, injustice when the state pushes back and won't allow truth and justice. It's a pattern that we're familiar with. That is why this law is so necessary. But also on top of that, and I really want you to appreciate just how important it is and profound. You have changed the lives not just of the families involved in all of those scandals and injustices, but you are also going to change the lives of thousands of people that you will never meet, who for years and years and decades and generations to come will now be able to point to what you have done and say, we don't have to go through that. And that it is incredible, and I'm really proud of you for that. I do know how hard it's been, what a toll it's taken on everybody involved, but it would not have happened without you, and I want to be very clear about that. This would not have happened without you and others campaigning through this. You, the other families, the campaigns, have been so important to all of this. So when I say thank you for coming here to Downing Street, thank you for being in the central government here today, but thank you also for the journey that has brought you here. I know it's an emotional day. I can feel that in all of you, and I'm not surprised.
It's been very emotional, Keir. If I may call you Keir.
You can call me Keir. I've been called a lot worse. She's probably said that.
But I thought, this is a day that was not going to happen, especially when you made the promise that it'd be for the 15th of April.
Yeah.
For the, and I thought, oh no, this is not going to happen. We've got to keep going. We've got to keep going with the support of everybody, and all the good people behind us. And when the Bishop and I came to see you as well, I really appreciated you fulfilled your promise, and we all really appreciated it. But as you said earlier on, this is not just about a legacy for the 97. The most important thing, this is a legacy for the people of this country.
Yeah.
And I think that is the most important thing.
Yeah, Margaret, I think that's so important. And it was best part of 15 years ago when I first met you and the families, when Bishop James and I were engaged in other questions about whether criminal investigations would come, what the order of things was. And I said, I'm not going to make that decision without meeting you, and therefore we had a series of meetings. So I felt straight away the injustice here, and have been carrying that hope that we could do something about it ever since then. I remember those that were out campaigning at that stage those years ago. I also remember, and this is etched on my heart, some of the family members who had not been able to speak a single word about what happened between the day it happened until after the panel report. So carry all that, because politics is about the big decisions that government makes, but they are also about who do you have in your mind's eye when you make your decisions. And these decisions on Hillsborough Law were made with you and the other families in our mind's eye. And that's really important. I made you a promise, and we're delivering on that promise. We're a little bit late, but I did think it was better to get it right, and what we've done in the last few weeks and months is to get it right. And so the anniversary was important, and that's what I had hoped to do. But I think it was right that we carried on the work to get this to the right place.
Well, I hope you realise as well, Keir, that the work is still not done.
No, the work isn't done.
We've
We're
still got more
introducing
to
the
do,
legislation,
Yeah.
and we've got to get it through.